So since it's just you and I, is there anything you want to talk about directly? You got questions? Something you're struggling with? Something you
Yeah, I've got a listing that's been sitting for a while, hot minute, and I know, it's the market, it's in my neighborhood, and the other townhouses are sitting too, but
that does
um
something I hit my head.
um I think I'm gonna do a Facebook ad through command. I've never done one of those before. I've done them
Okay.
through Facebook, but not through command. So hoping that reaches a better variety of people.
Yeah, it could. The command paid ads are because we have such a powerful um I'm sorry, we have such a powerful my screen when I went to go look at what you were talking about popped up as something I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
Um when we have such a powerful force behind us with KW, so when we buy ads, they automatically go higher than you just as an agent
Oh,
going out there to start one.
okay. Cool.
Because we have, there's a lot to our um, marketing brand.
Right. It's kind of like the power of a superstore like BJ's or
Exactly. Yep. There
Costco.
you go.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. It's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Good, good, good. Yeah.
my active listings. Rock Creek. That's a land, and you've got the St. Andrews. Let me see.
Yeah, the one in St. Andrews. It's been what, 40 something days?
54.
Uh-huh. Yeah. They were selling right before mine went on the market. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, boom, everything stopped. Yeah. Yeah. And I hate it because, I had a neighbor come to me and was like, "Hey, Marla, if you sell that one, I'll let you sell mine too." And then another
Yeah.
neighbor who he just built a house in South Carolina. Well, he started it during COVID and his builder just finished it. And so now he's ready to sell his townhouse. And he's like, "I'm so mad at my builder because now it's a bad time." So, yeah,
No.
he won't put it on the market yet because he doesn't want it to sit. He'd rather find somebody, off market to buy it, but we can't do investors in here anymore unless they want it to sit for a year.
Oh, you have to live there a year before you can. Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and they
Mhm.
probably don't allow short Airbnb, right?
No, no, no Airbnbs. The lease has to be a year. Yeah. So now the townhouse across the street, we could straight out rent it if they wanted to, but because they inherited it from their aunt who passed, and but she had put them on the deed, so they've already been owners. um and but there's four of them. They don't want to rent it, they just want to get their cash and go. They live out of state, so yeah. Yeah.
On that spot in the carpet on the level two, I would recommend a product called Folex, like Rolex.
Huh, okay.
I've seen that get up spots that have been in the carpet 20 years.
Wow.
And you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's or
Okay.
but it's called Folex, like Rolex.
Okay.
And you spray it on and kind of scrub it in, like,
Okay.
and I've seen it lift out stains that I never thought would come out.
Wow.
We used it
Wow.
at the department store.
Okay.
When I would take over a new store and we would go, um, the first thing is like clean and
Yeah.
organize and, get,
Yeah.
but
Huh.
yeah, I would try
But
Folex like Rolex.
can you see in the pictures though that the waves in the carpet,
I do see this.
I
That
think
would be,
it's original, which means it's over 20 years old. So it really needs to be replaced. And I did get a good price on carpet and LVP in the whole downstairs, because downstairs you've got linoleum in the bathroom, I think a different linoleum in the entry, and then you've got engineered hardwoods in the living room and dining room. And if you look closely in the dining room, there's a spot in the corner, you'd have to zoom in on it, where we think she had a plant that probably
In that next to the window in that back corner?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So it probably leaked and ruined the floors back there. So, and I got pricing for everything, paint and flooring. I got great deals, but and presented it to the sellers and they just don't want to do it. They did drop the price. And then we had a $2,000 credit for flooring, so we took that out and lowered the price 10,000. Is that what we did? Yeah, because we're at 225. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd almost be better to see if you could stretch that carpet to get rid of the ripples.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Um,
And I talked to a carpet guy and they said, yes, we could stretch it, but with it being that old, it's a high
yeah, tear.
probability it'll tear.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. So, yeah, and really, we've only had 3 showings on it. That's it. Dreama brought somebody through there on Sunday, and I keep texting her of, got any feedback? Got any feedback? She's ignoring me.
She
Or she's
may
busy.
have, she saw a couple of properties that she was previewing for previewing and they weren't even um buying. And they're not ready to buy. They're
Ah,
shopping.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
So you should be seeing my MLS, right?
Yep.
Okay. So so your townhouses in your Guilford and St. Andrews Stony Creek.
Yep.
So what I might do is just a residential search.
Okay.
Um, I'm looking at what's active, but I'm also looking at what's closed,
Yep.
pending in the last 180 days. And it was Stony. It's what is it, St. Andrews Stony?
Yep. St. Andrews.
So four. No, townhouses or condos or both. I
They're
mean,
townhouses.
okay. So you got two active and two closed in 180 days,
Yep.
and you're at
Mhm.
225.
Yep.
So you're lower than anything that's closed.
Yep.
Now you are a two-bedroom versus
A
the
three
other one
bed.
closes a three and the other closes a two at 240.
Yep.
So let's look at this condition. So this one's a different layout than yours.
Yep.
Now that looks like one
Different flooring. Yep.
flooring. Looks like
Yep.
they've got three floorings too.
Yep.
But now
That
you're
matches.
this. I don't know that yours has had the work done.
That actually looks like it's original, other than the appliances are new,
Mhm.
except all the houses had different color countertops, and those are dark versus mine are green.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but that is the original Formica
So
countertop.
that's similar.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, the half bath is a half bath.
Yep.
Yours has a fireplace, it's got a fireplace, not
Yep.
drastically different.
Yep.
So this floor plan is a little different than yours.
Oh yeah, it is. It's bigger. This is one of the biggest
This is the
floor
three, right?
Um, I
Or is
don't
this the two?
so it's normally two in a loft, but this might be the one that they enclose the loft. I can't remember. Is this the one that closed?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this was Amy Klutz. I was representing this one. So it's two in a loft. Yeah, I see it up there.
Yeah, that's Amy's.
Yeah, yeah, I've been in that one. I helped her light the fireplace.
So, she is what, 1650 square feet?
And I'm like 12 something. Yep.
So hers is definitely bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So if it sold for 240, that's $145 a square foot. And you're 12, 12 and
Yeah.
some change.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, you're $183 a square foot.
Huh. And hers was what? 140?
145.
Huh. Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
based on size, you're actually high.
Right.
Um,
Let
so
me
this one is a 3-2 that closed, but it's a 3-2-1 where yours is a 2-2-1, 2-1-2.
It's 221. Yeah, so
Two
two,
one one.
yeah, two bedrooms, two full bathrooms, and one half bath.
Okay, so the bathrooms are the same. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's see this one that closed. So it looks like they redid that as a marble countertop or something.
Yeah, that's definitely got some updates to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same floor plan as mine.
Same floor all through the house. Is this the same one as yours?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
On the outside though looks kind of, I mean,
Not the one I represent, but the one I live in.
yeah, yeah. So this one closed at 245
Right.
and it's 1594, which is 153 a square foot. Uh,
Trying to
based
find.
on size, you're high.
Right.
Um, for what has sold.
Right.
Um, now whose is this one? Vivian Sweat.
Yeah.
She went up in price.
I know. Why did she do that? That's,
She went up in price and it's been on the market 59 days.
but I thought she had it listed at 269 previously. No, or I don't know. Can you look at the history on that?
269 to 240 and 240 to 257.
Whoa. What
Yeah.
happened there?
That's why she went up and down. Like
Okay. Right. That's a huge drop.
it probably should have it probably needs to be 240.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, so she's 257 divided by her math is about 1550. So see, she's at 165 as well.
Okay.
So see, you're the most expensive per square foot of all
Right.
what's currently on market plus what's sold in the last 6 months.
Right. I
So
need
you
to,
see that?
I do, but I need to find the exact square footage. I don't know why I can't find it right now.
Of hers or yours?
Of mine, the one that I'm representing. It'll say Endorify, right? Or it should.
Yeah, but well, it's always half plus 10%. So
Okay.
and so it's the
So,
average.
right. So
So
1200 is fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did it on 1225.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Okay.
so I think you had maps in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I should. Yep. There we go. Right. Yeah. Oh,
1320.
1320. Okay. So I was
So
wrong.
here, and I did it low then. If you that'll bring
Yeah.
it down, which is good. You're 225,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
1320. You're still at 170 a square foot, and the two that
Wow.
sold are at 245 a square foot.
Okay.
145 a square foot. So you're still high.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So at 145 a square foot is 191.4. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. We did actually have an offer of 200,000, but they hadn't even come to see the house yet. And it was an investor that I kept telling them, you can't use it as an investment for a year. So,
Right, right. You have to hold it, right?
right. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. So I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird
So
conversation.
if we go back to our criteria and if we take this out and go back longer, so you've only had one more that sold. That's three.
Yeah, and it was in on the same street, the one that they fired me from.
That this one?
No, it should be on Double Eagle. It closed in March of this year. Don't know why, and it was definitely in Triad. Don't know why it's not showing. Maybe he listed it as a condo instead of a townhouse because he wasn't the smartest cookie in the box.
We can do that.
Or just keep it as stick built. Can you leave it? Oh, do both? Yep. We didn't get anything more, huh?
If I could spell.
Yeah. There you go. Still
Did he
three?
put it into something else?
Maybe the address is 6308 Double Eagle.
You consider that's what's it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, that's funny. You got people that there's 54 in there now.
Right.
So he probably didn't put the subdivision in or something.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a lot.
Right. Do you want to just look up the address, 6308 Double Eagle?
Yeah, I just want to narrow it a little bit, but I don't want to get crazy.
Right.
Let's do two and a one, see if that will narrow it some. 32 it did, that helped. Um, I'm gonna say 2 to 3. That got us to 30. Park Place, those are not y'all, right?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Ridge Creek are not y'all.
No. There it is, 60 in the middle, 6308 Double Eagle. Yeah.
And they had it with you?
Yeah. And then they fired me.
Okay, interesting. These pictures are terrible.
They were taken by the homeowner, I think. No, probably not even the homeowner. Maybe either the homeowner or the agent. Yeah. And I originally used the homeowner's pictures, and then Amy was like, "No, Marla, you need to do
Yeah,
professional."
these are bad. I mean, whoever.
Mhm.
It's sold for 229, it's 1250.
Yeah.
What did you have it at?
We started it. If can you go to history? I feel like we started at 235. I can't remember.
240.
Okay. Hmm.
And it sold for 229 and you
Yep.
had it at 230.
Hmm.
So you weren't, and this has happened between December and January, like that. It's not a
Yeah.
drastic change, and they accepted within $1,000 of what you had.
Yeah. hmm I think he sold them that house, and then I think he saw it on the market and probably approached them, and that's when they fired me.
This Jamie Purvis.
Yep. No, Eric Corneliuson.
Oh,
hmm
this guy.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, because they would not
So,
give me any feedback. I was like, okay, just communicate. Tell me, what can I do to help the next person? And, yes, we can part ways, but talk to me. And they're like, sorry, we're too busy to talk.
so this one says 183.20 a square foot.
Wow. Yep. See, that's why it makes it hard to go lower on what I've got because it's bigger than this one.
So this one must be similar to yours.
Which one?
It's 1320. I'm looking at what's right around your square footage.
Uh, gotcha. Yep. It's not in our neighborhood, but yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Where's Ridge Creek?
It's practically across the street. You know where Brightwood Farms is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ridge
Oh,
Creek
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the other
Like
side.
I know where
Yep.
this is. Why can't I think where it is?
Yep.
So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that have sold, right?
And that is not by us either. The Oliver Park ones, those are over off Springwood Park area.
So these are your only 5.
Yeah.
So see, we were doing there's Stony St. Andrews, Stony Creek. They put it
Mm,
into St. Andrews
and there's
townhouses.
townhomes. Interesting.
And
Right.
this one says Summersby. That's not you. So you've had 4 sold in a year, I guess.
Yeah, probably. And some people are some are just using Triad and some are just using Dorify. I'm finding less agents doing both,
That's true. I can see that. Okay.
right? Yeah.
So you've got a 245 that sold. That's 1594. That's 153 a square foot.
Yeah.
240. And of course, this is without, this one's 145. This is rough without any condition consideration, of course.
Right. Yeah.
1642. This one sold for 155.
Okay.
229. Um, sold for 183. That's the one off which sold. That's the one.
Okay.
Um, and it was January. So see, it's the longest, right?
Yeah.
Because that closed
In March.
March,
Yeah, end of March.
September. So you can see as it looks like as it's gone on, this is not y'all's. This one is y'all's. This one's October,
Yeah.
and this one's August.
Yeah.
So from March to August to October, prices have dropped in that area
Mm-hmm.
significantly.
Yep. Yep. Sure have. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. So maybe we give it a couple, another week or so and see if they're willing to do another price drop.
Yeah, I think you just have to give them the facts of the shift of the market in the last 9
Yeah.
months to what,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what's happened is
Right.
Can I not do all of them? So now we got six. So we picked up a couple. Oh, those are the two active. So it's the same four.
Oh, you use Matrix and Dorify.
Yeah.
I probably should have stuck with Matrix because Flex is
Oh,
just
you can use either one. I mean, none of them are wrong. I was
Mm.
just doing it because we try it as Matrix.
Right.
Um,
I know I'm more familiar with Matrix than Flex, and I struggle with it.
is this a different one?
Yes, another style. Yep.
So this one sold for 230, 240. And when did that sell? 823.
Yeah.
Sherry Dyers. 1546. And see, that's 155. I mean, you're really, it looks like 155 is your sweet spot.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
about 2046. So if you could get them to like split the difference from where you are at 225 and the sweet
Okay.
spot to sales 205, like 215 is the best spot you could get to.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um, but again, you've got statistical data that you and I just went through that
Right.
just said the market has changed
Yeah.
from March
Yeah.
until October,
Yeah.
that these results, this is the result, that
Right.
nothing's selling over 150, $45 a square foot,
Okay.
statistically. So
Yeah.
that's what you're up against.
Yeah.
I can't promise you that that's the last, that's where the market is right now. The market could
Right.
shift again.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Now, were you at today's team meeting?
No, my stomach was not
Oh, no,
cooperating with
all,
me.
all good. I just was going to share what I did cover today that was
Yeah,
kind of somewhat important.
that'd be great.
Where did Daniel send that from? That makes no sense. Well, I don't see why it's not y'all. But how weird, I don't see them. Well, I will just put one up, my friend.
What are you looking for?
just a handful of things that we went over today that we're seeing as issues
Ah,
kind of over and over and over again.
gotcha.
Let me do a share screen with you. Share. I want to share this one. Share. Okay, so you're looking at command.
Yes.
Okay. So here's one. Oh great. May authenticate me again.
Oh,
See, y'all can see I have the same problems y'all do.
right.
Of course, that's about our agency, and I wanted a listing agreement. Okay. Listing agreements. People are doing really good about filling out stuff running down the blocks.
Okay.
If there's something over on this side, they seem to be missing it.
Ah,
So here, like this is going to be a listing price of 1.4 million, and then
okay.
accept all these. And then what they are missing is stuff like that. Like if the property has legal access to a public right of way, if the access is
Oh,
private, there either is or is not an agreement in place. So if it's
okay.
a private road, you're going to need to answer these questions over here.
Okay.
And then um, when here it actually asks you um, about flood zones and wetlands and flood insurance.
Yep.
That's why compliance, we started asking for flood maps
Yep. Mhm.
because they're asking you, do you know? Yes or no, is it in a flood zone, basically? So
Right.
other than just saying yes or no, we need to see that on a map.
Right.
Um,
Makes sense.
Likewise, it asks you here under receipt of sample forms. Well, it asks if you gave the seller a copy of PSD.
Yep.
So it's asking you to give them a copy of it so that during the transaction at the end of it,
Yep.
you'll see vendors that were hired during the process. So
Yep.
there's a reason we ask for all the forms we ask for.
Okay.
We're just not out there asking for whatever.
Right.
Um, and then see if the 220's in there. Yeah. So 220 should almost always be the listing firm. It rarely should be seller.
Okay.
Um, because if it's already agreed upon in the listing agreement, like it
Yep.
should be this checkbox.
Okay.
It would only be seller if you had to go back and negotiate it. So
Ah,
technically, this form is not correct.
okay.
Um,
Yep.
Now, I want to hold up your entire file to be paid for this reason. I'm just bringing it to everyone's attention that, hey, this is wrong.
Right. Yep.
So
And
everyone thinks because, oh, the seller's paying it, the seller's paying it, and
right.
that's not correct.
Yep.
The other thing, what's happening is this agreement right here is what the seller is going to pay. So at the attorney's office or even the lender's office, they know what the seller might be paying if you share this. They
Yeah.
still don't know if your buyer is going to pay you more or the difference of something.
Oh, okay.
So this is not enough to completely fill out the forms needed from lending or forms needed from
Yeah.
the attorney's office. So
Yeah.
Um, likewise, this right here at the top, it says use this form when a seller is presented by an agent to use 150 if one of the parties is unrepresented. So
Ah,
a 150 is what you would use for a for sale by owner.
right. I wonder if I used that form. I can't remember, but I'll look into it.
Um, so that's that. Then the new 201 and 202 buyer agency, are you good with those?
I think so. Can we look at them briefly?
Of course we can.
Yeah, I even used one of the 1 day showing things.
Oh,
Um,
good. Yep, that's the
yeah,
202.
yeah, okay.
So this is the showing agreement, and
Yeah,
it's only one page.
yeah,
So literally, I'm between the firm and the client.
yeah,
What we're providing is showing 123 Main Street, basically.
yeah, yeah,
Um, they've not signed an agreement or they have signed an agreement.
yeah,
How long is this agreement? It can be just for today. What is the fee for showing? So
yeah,
they will pay $100, $50, whatever for showing services.
right.
Or there's no fee.
Yeah.
Or if you just, I mean, that's the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
the only other thing would be is if they decided to use you as their agent.
yeah. Then we would we go into the regular
Yep. You would
fire
just flip,
agency agreement?
yep, go over the 202.
Yeah,
I mean the 201, sorry.
yeah. Very good.
And 201 is much better. It's only 3 pages.
Yeah,
So one, two, three.
yeah,
Um, and it's the firm and the client, what we're providing, where the services, have they signed something with someone else? They're not
yeah,
working with the relocation. Have they got copies of the contract and PSD? How long is this gonna last? What
yeah,
is the fee you're being charged?
yeah,
Um, if you go under contract within certain many days of the property I showed you,
yeah,
would be this.
yeah.
Initials, explaining dual. I think this is easier to understand. This is what I was trying to get you all to understand with how we do dual agency. With
Right.
this used to be checkboxes.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's either dual or not, yes or no. And
Right.
then if they act as a dual agent, then the buyer says it's okay for you to be the both, or the buyer says it's okay for you not to be both. So
Right. Yeah.
um that's why there shouldn't be all the boxes checked.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What material facts are, just general stuff. This is the blanket so that you could write any additional something in there, and then that's it.
Yeah. Nice.
So this has gotten much better.
Yes.
So, do you want to look at a 150 while I'm here?
Sure. Yep.
So this is basically the 220, the firm and the seller
Okay.
on a date.
Okay.
The owner owns a property. This is street address.
Okay.
The seller is endeavoring to sell that property without the assistance of an agent.
Okay.
The firm has a client who is your client, the buyer.
Okay.
If the seller sells the property to that firm's client, they agree to pay a fee of blank.
Okay.
This is the fee is earned within X number of days, and they understand that the buyer agency is who representing the client.
Hmm.
And that is it.
So I don't need that on my particular transaction because the seller's not paying anything anyway.
Correct. Yep.
Only if the seller were paying would we need.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Yep.
Yep. So
Good.
those, oh, and the only other thing is I'm running into, we've seen a little bit in compliance that some people still have the 4-page RPD because they've had stuff before that form changed.
Okay.
We really should kind of switch those over to the new ones at this point. We shouldn't have anything that are in the 23.
Yeah.
We should all be using the 724 file papers.
Yep. Yep. Sounds good.
And those are the big ones. So,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
do you have anything else?
No, that's all I got for now. It was a private one-on-one session with you. I love it.
Do you know what I normally charge for that?
a lot, I'm sure.
So, no,
Yeah.
that's it. But if you got anything or if you don't have anything, I will give you 14 minutes back of your day.
All right.
But
Sounds good.
all right, it's good to see you,
Thanks,
friend. I'm glad you had a
Jason.
good time. Where all did you go?
We only had one stop and it was in Nassau. So
Oh, got you.
yep,
Yeah.
it docked out of Charleston, went to Nassau and back. So yeah, it was the smoothest cruise I've ever been on because I usually get pretty motion sick, but I took some motion sickness pills beforehand, did pretty good. And yeah, I'm still a little rocky today, but
And which cruise line was it?
Carnival. This was the Carnival Sunshine.
Gotcha.
And then it will be going next year. It'll start out of Norfolk, because they're closing the Charleston port. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Wonder
yeah.
why. Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe this the traffic out there is just terrible. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely. Yeah, yep.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes,
I'm glad you're back
definitely.
in one piece and all's well. So,
Absolutely.
all right, friend. Well,
All
I will
right.
keep
Thanks,
you and I hope you have a
Jason.
good day. Yep, sure
All
thing.
right. Bye.